Hello class, my name is Reina Jimenez. I decided to do my project on a scrapbook of Florence Nightingale, so I'm going to tell you guys what she has been a part of throughout her life. So we're going to start off with her picture right here, which is Florence Nightingale. And then a little introduction about Nightingale. She was born in Florence, Italy. That's where she gets her first name from. She came from a very wealthy family. However, her parents didn't want her to necessarily go to school for nursing because that wasn't something that people of high socioeconomic status were seen as doing necessarily. Usually the man in the life would be the one with the job providing with the family while the wife stays at home, but Florence Nightingale did not want to do that. She used to care for individuals at nearby estates with their health until she told her parents, and they told her that they would rather have her seek appropriate schooling. So here's a little glimpse of that. You can see we have Italy, their little motorcycles, a boat, the Tower of Pisa. We got Florence Nightingale, and we got the flag. So Italy is where she came from. Alright, so next I'm going to be talking about my introduction of why I chose Florence Nightingale. She has had a very strong passion, not only for the nursing profession, but the overall healthcare field. She left her family to help other individuals improve their health. So she's very patient-centered and wants to do her best to get that individual's health improved. She was also a very humble person and didn't like a lot of attention drawn to her. So back then in her days, the man was supposed to be the one getting the attention rather than the woman seeking it. So she didn't want a lot of attention drawn to her, so she would rather have someone else get the credit of her work. And then today, modern practices, we still see her work and practices that us as nurses do. If you can see, I believe she is one of the greatest nurses. She's kind, compassionate, she's very patient, and she's gentle. Alright, so next we're going to be talking about Nightingale's career. She attended nursing school at the Lutheran Hospital at Pastorf-Linier in Kaiserwerth, Germany. Soon after that, she became a nurse at the Middlesex Hospital. So right here, I have some scrubs signifying a nurse, although it can signify other healthcare fields as well. We have the hat signifying a nurse. And then I also included a backpack because she needed to carry her books to school. So this is a little bit about her career. Alright, so next is the promotion and letter for Nightingale. Nightingale's employer really liked the work that she was doing as a nurse at the Middlesex Hospital, so therefore he went ahead and promoted her to the superintendent of that hospital. But soon after, she was called for the Crimean War by the Secretary of War, Sidney Herbert, asking her to form an organization of nurses to help at the battlefield. So right here, if you can see, there's a letter by Sidney Herbert to Nightingale saying if she can create an organization of nurses to go ahead and help. Okay, so as I said previously, Nightingale was called to form an organization for the Crimean War. The environment that she went to, she was not expecting, and the hospital that she was stationed at, there was a lot of rodents and bugs along the hallways, just very unsanitary conditions. We had water that was very contaminated. And some patients, for example, were even sitting in feces. Some diseases that patients had were typhoid and cholera. It was just a very bad environment, and Nightingale soon after cleaned it up, and I'll tell you about that a little bit later. So right here I have a helmet signifying soldiers, and I also have the boots and the tank This is a little image of the Crimean War, if you can see there. And then I also have trees as well. Okay, so these are the modern day practices that we've seen used today, and something that Nightingale has contributed to. So during the Crimean War, in the hospital that she was stationed at, she would go around with her light and do nightly rounds and assess the patients and their overall health to see how they were doing, whether that be a respiratory assessment or a head, neck, eyes, ears, nose, and throat. She was always checking on the patient's status. She also scrubbed the hospital in and out, and she implemented something that we do see today, which is infection control. So we're washing our hands as nurses as we enter patient's room and leave, and not just forgetting about it and then entering another patient's room. We want to prevent those things from happening because we can spread infections possibly. So something that she did was had patients' linens cleaned all the time. We don't want the patients to be sitting in their own sweat. That can just cause other things to occur. And she did reduce the death rate by 2/3. So here you can see the clipboard with an assessment checklist. And then we have our brushes to scrub. And then we have our stethoscope as well, and our sterile pads, which is something also as well that can be used for infection control. We have our gauze and our cotton balls. Alright, so this page of my scrapbook is going to tell us about the awards that Nightingale did receive. She was awarded a brooch by the Queen for her service during the Crimean War, and she was also awarded $250,000 by the British government. And then she used that money to create her own training school for nurses, though. When she went for the Crimean War, there wasn't a lot of nurses to choose from, just because people didn't go to school for that. It was mainly for people of low socioeconomic status. However, Nightingale changed many people's perspective, and it wasn't seen as that anymore as it is now either. We don't really see it as an economic status that low people go for. So she really did change a lot of people's perspectives. So here I have the brooch, and then I have the monetary award that she received, and then I have a thermometer, pills, and a syringe, signifying nursing school. Okay, so riding and bed rest. Florence Nightingale was soon put on bed rest at a very young age because she did develop Crimean fever. But however, that did not stop her. While she was put on bed rest, she was continuously writing notes on how to effectively manage a hospital and how to run it, and what those individuals can do, such as healthcare members. So right here I do have some books, a notepad that she could have possibly used, and we also have her book of the notes that she did write. So overall, Nightingale was an honoree. She received the Merit of Honor by King Edward in 1908, and she also received a congratulatory note by King George in 1910. She was thanked for a lot of her work that she did during the Crimean War. There is also, though, an application that many individuals, but specifically nurses, can apply to receive the Florence Nightingale Medal. To apply for it, though, they have to have had made peace in war or helped in such scenarios. So right here I do have a thank you right here to Florence Nightingale, and then I also have her Merit of Honor, so it's saying that she was courageous. But yeah. Okay, so Nightingale's in the life, she was still on bed rest. However, she was doing fine, but one day she fell ill, but those symptoms faded away. But then about a week later, she started developing an increase in symptoms, and died the next day. Her death was very unexpected as she was doing well, and this is her at her bed in bed rest. Okay, so for my conclusion, overall, I believe that Nightingale has left a very lasting legacy for the nursing profession. She also had a strong ambition and drive to help whenever she could, especially during the Crimean War, and improve people's health. She had outstanding efforts in the Crimean War, and also she engaged more individuals to attend nursing school. Once she came back from the Crimean War, it wasn't something that a lot of people enjoyed, but soon after did. Overall, she is left as the lady with the lamp, and also known as the angel of the battlefield for the Crimean War. Lady with the lamp, specifically for doing her nightly rounds in hospitals and assessing the patients. Okay, so for my reflection, as far as reflecting on this scrapbook and this project on Nightingale, it has really opened my eyes and view into a whole different perspective. This medical generation has really advanced over the years compared to what it has been in the past. So I'm very thankful for that as well. Personally, I do see some people and individuals not necessarily loving what they do, but doing it for the money. So a lot of times, we ask ourselves, do you really love what you're doing or what you're going to school for? Is it what's going to make you happy? But a lot of times it really is for the money. Personally, not for me, but for some individuals it is, and I understand that. However, Nightingale has left a strong lasting impact on the nursing profession, and has contributed to it a lot, and we still see her work today. And yep. Overall, for my scrapbook though, this was a whole new artistic project for me. I'm not very artsy with anything. I still draw stick figures. But I mean, I even told my friend I think I might get into scrapbooking, although it was very expensive. But I really did enjoy this project. It allowed me to know more about Nightingale and also the nursing profession itself and how it has developed. Thank you.